Okay, so thanks for reaching out. This is going to be super long. I'm going to try to balance time I spend with giving you information. If there's anything I don't cover enough that you want more information on, I'm happy to get on a call. I'm not looking to charge for that. I take really a lot of pride in not nickel and diming my clients to death. I'm here if you have any questions. So, if, I think you have, I think you said, you want to implement a lot of this stuff. So if you want, I'm going to lay it out to where I think you can handle a lot of it if you have more time than money. But it requires either time or money. There's just no way around it. So what we do at Norzer, basically, we do website design, we do a local SEO lead generation, but my specialty is taking new businesses, and I think your business is new because your website's only been around for 5 months, and helping them launch and getting a good digital footprint. I'm not selling you on anything. I'm just letting you know this is what I'm talking about here is exactly what I do. So I think I'm going to provide you some valuable information worth thousands and thousands of dollars, honestly, and I don't think I'm overselling that. And I'm going to save you a lot of time because I have a lot of AI prompts I use to do a lot of stuff, and I've run most of the prompts for you. I'm going to give you that information. The prompts that I haven't run, I'm going to actually show you the prompts themselves. And if you want the prompts for any of the outputs I give you, let me know and I'll give it to you. So let's jump right in. So for local SEO, the main ranking factors broadly are proximity, so how close you are to the searcher. So I've never been to England, but you're in London, and London's very popular, very dense, just like New York or Chicago or something, right? So if somebody from West, let's say you're in East London, if somebody searches for, and I'm just going to say physical therapist because I'll never get the word physiotherapist right over and over again. And that's something I need clarity on, actually. Let's say somebody searches for physical therapist in East London, you're in West London. There's probably 20 physical therapists between you and them, so you're not going to show up. There's no way around that. Relevance. How relevant are you to the search? So if somebody searches for physiotherapist, I guess I got it right. Physiotherapist for soccer player, or I guess you would say football player, you're probably not going to show up because you're not mentioning that anywhere in your website, right? So you definitely want to, and we'll get into that in a lot more detail, how you would do that. Now, if somebody searches for pizza parlor near me, you're obviously not going to show up because you're not relevant to that at all. And then prominent. So how prominent are you on the web? So what a lot of people overlook, it's not just your website that matters. How do these algorithms, especially these AI, how do they know that you're a legitimate company? Right now, the only other mention you have outside of your website that's reputable, we have Trustpilot. And that's actually for Ascenti UK, which I was curious about what that is. It might not even be you, but you have and I saw this on your social media, a partnership with Clapham. This is exactly the kind of stuff you need to do. Um, but you should be in all these like local business directories, and we'll get into all that. So how prominent are you, right? Let me get a sip of my drink here. So especially with AI and search results more and more, because anybody can generate AI content now, are trusting more and more known brand names. So you have to increase what's called your digital footprint online, not just on your website, but across the web. And I'm gonna get into all this in a lot more detail. So before we go, this is a template. This isn't a template I made, but this is generally kind of the form. I don't like the layout of this website. Like there's not enough padding. But anyway, just how you kind of need to design your website. And your website, not being disrespectful, it definitely looks like it was just made quickly. It doesn't look very professional at all, and I definitely would rework that as well. Um, so your website needs to, so GBP. So we talked about GBP. So in GBP, and we're going to get into this in a lot more detail, you tell it, what your category is, what your services are, which you don't have any, but what you put here needs to be directly mirrored on your website. Because think about the way these algorithms work. Sometimes I'll say Google, and I'm meaning to say all algorithms, AI, Bing, etc. Keep in mind, Bing doesn't sound like a lot of people don't use it, but ChatGPT uses it under the covers, and that's becoming more and more prominent as we get more and more. Like the search engines, as we know it, aren't even going to exist in 2 years. AI is going to totally go to I'm sorry, Google's going to go to a totally AI overviews model. So one of the things it looks at is you could have the best website, best looking website, lays out all your services, but if your GBP says you're a physical therapist, let's see, I don't remember exactly, like physical therapist, but you don't explicitly mention you're the physical therapist on your website, which I don't think you actually use that keyword. You say physiotherapy. Anyway, it needs to line up one to one. So this is a very long topic. I could go over this for 5 hours in itself. You want to say we are the best service. So physiotherapist or physical therapist. I would probably do physical therapy. I would probably do, since your GBP primary carrier is physical therapist, I would do physical therapist in London. Now, I wouldn't even say London because there's too much competition. I search for London physical therapist, physiotherapist, and there's tons. So I would focus more on neighborhoods. Now, I don't know what I have it. I have it bro. I can't remember the actual. See if it's down here. What was it? I can't remember, but there's like a local area of the city. I would focus on ranking that instead of London because it's just way too hard to compete for all of London. You need to focus everything probably within a 5 to 10 mile radius of you. So offering the best. So if you said physical therapy here, you could say physiotherapy here. And so it's not 100%, right? You can use synonyms in location and the surrounding areas, and you'll feel pain relief in time or whatever that is. You'd have to work on that. And this, you can use AI for all this. Feature, feature, feature. So this is a website we're working on. You can see here, they provide VoIP services, and this is the location, right? You can see this is the feature. Whoop, looks kind of bad right there. US-based support, blah, blah. So features there. Questions the customers asking themselves when they search for this service. So you can use AI to get this stuff, and I can help you with all that. And then welcome to Joey Hex Physiotherapy. We make our awesome at, that's worded incorrectly, but same kind of thing. So we are the solution for back pain, foot pain, whatever those solutions are. So we're repeating stuff here. And so these are your secondary categories. So if we search for physiotherapist London, let's see what other GBP categories your competition's using. So we can see here, I think the proper one for the primary is physical therapist. Make this bigger. Physical therapist, but this One Body LDN is also a massage therapist. So do you offer massage therapy? If so, that needs to be a secondary category. Are you a pain control clinic, physical rehabilitation center? So which one do these fit? Physical therapist. There's also physical therapy clinics. That would be a good secondary. Chiropractor. Are you a chiropractor? So whatever those things are, those need to be clearly laid out here. And then ideally, you would have this, it would cost you a lot of money to get all this done up front, right? Because then you need dedicated pages for each one of those. So you can imagine, and you need a dedicated page for, let's say, the neighborhood you're in is called Area A, you know? So you would have a dedicated page not just for chiropractor, but chiropractor in area A, chiropractor in area B. So you can imagine if you have 5 services, let's go back to here, what you gave me. Clapham Junction, I think that's the location. Clapham Junction. Um, yeah, this is the word I was thinking of. Bacteria. So you can imagine there's a bunch of different like back pain techniques that you have. So you can imagine you probably have 20 or 30 services that you offer. Then if you have, let's say, 5 neighborhoods you're targeting. So let's say you have 10 services and 5 neighborhoods, that's 50 pages. So what a lot of people do is you build out maybe 10 total. Maybe take your most profitable services in your most profitable location and build those out. As more revenue comes in from those, then invest in, I guess, hold on one second. Let me fix a plug here. Okay. Then you take that revenue and then if you have more, you'll be having more money than time at that point. Pay somebody. I mean, we could do it for you to build those pages out. You always want to think about what do you think people would search on to get to a specific web page, right? And we're going to get into this in a lot more detail. So these are just some random notes I came across. So here's some opportunities. Physio hybrid, physio, I guess that means physiotherapist. I think that's like an industry term, just calling it physio for hybrid athletes. Because you can imagine, let's say, and you might just want to say athletes. If I'm an athlete, which I am an athlete, Google knows this because based on my search history and everything else. So if I search for physical therapist near me, it's going to take into account my history and probably recommend one that specifically mentions they work with athletes. Now, it makes more sense when somebody searches for athletes, and people are searching for this. They want somebody dedicated for physical therapists for athletes. So you need to build all these dedicated pages out. Physical therapists for athletes, for, and I can't think of any other good examples right now, for, this is maybe a horrible example, for mountain climbers, whatever, all that stuff. So you build all that stuff out. Adam, even if you can't do it now, if you can't build out a dedicated page for each of these customer types, at least at a minimum right now, on your page, mention these customer types. Like, we are happy to serve athletes, mountain climbers, busy professionals, all those kind of things. You can see a lot of these pages are starting to build up. So that's the goal. So as you can see, to get your website totally in the stage you need it in, if you had a full-time employee doing this, it would probably take a few months. If you're hiring like a company, like a digital marketing company or SEO person to do it for you, this is a long-term, multi-year process to get all this stuff up, right? Because you probably can't afford it, and they probably don't have dedicated hours. You could, if you needed somebody with dedicated hours, you'd hire them to do it just for you, at your clinic, right? So don't think of this as like overwhelming and it needs to be done in 3 months. It's something that's constantly going to be built out, right? No wait time. So what you don't do a good job of is, and let's just keep going here real quick. So what makes us different? So like a why section and more of this stuff, then you want to actually import your hook into the reviews coming from GBP, not just typing them on your website, because anybody can do that. Then a contact form or a free estimate, free consultation, that kind of thing, and a map. I have a checklist that goes through all this stuff, hours, etc. So one thing that I wasn't clear on your website, let me go back here. I think you don't go through insurance. And as an American, as I understand it, there's a lot of red tape, as we have here. It's not every healthcare system has their own issues, but our issue isn't wait times as much as it is over there. It seems like there's a lot of red tape and bureaucracy, which there is here, but I don't think to the degree of here. The point I'm getting at is, if that could be shown as a weakness, that you don't go through the insurance system. However, that also could be as a strength. So that's something. There's going to be a lot of people that don't want to focus, don't want all that red tape, they just want to pay cash. So I think that's your business model, is it's just like a cash, not going through insurance type of system. That's something you need to focus on right up here. So you don't need to focus as much on you. This is called above the fold. Above the fold is what you see on a website before you scroll down. It goes back to like newspapers, folding them. And then the way algorithms work is they look at the H1. So this is in HTML, this is called an H1. It's a header one, meaning it's the biggest header. This is an H2, it's a little bit smaller. You need one H1, because the way these algorithms work is one of the first things they look at when they're trying to figure out what a page is about is what is in the H1, right? So you need to put your keyword in your location. And then you really need to highlight your USP, your unique selling proposition. What makes you different? So what makes you different? See, with them, we're working on their 100% US-based support, transparent pricing, and it's a local business. That's their main selling point. And that's also what you want to put down here in your little Y section. It's a true local Midwestern team. Like, they don't want to work with somebody in England, no disrespect to you. They don't want to work with somebody in China. They don't want to work with somebody in Brazil or, Pakistan. They want to work with somebody local to them. They don't want to work with somebody in California. They want to work with somebody local to them. So we're highlighting that. And it's a US-based team. It's local, and it's a local company. It's real people, transparent pricing, and that we've all labeled it the hero's way, right? Because it's VoIP Heroes, kind of like a Superman kind of thing. So that's what you need to apply. Going back to the above the fold, what needs to show most people, if you look at UI research, they go to a website, they'll look right here, they'll scroll down here, and they'll click away. Whatever sets you apart from your competition, if I went to 10 physical therapist websites, they're all going to seem the same, because they're not highlighting what makes them different. So how you determine this is, if I asked you what makes you different from your competition, whatever that answer is, and you did answer it in the Fiverr, I don't have it up in front of me right now. Actually, let's do this. Let's pull it up. So this is helping humans convert, but it's also helping algorithms understand what sets you apart. Um, I think it's right here. Being able, and it says blog posts on various industries. I don't see those blog posts, by the way, so there's a disconnect there. Um, so being able to book reschedule easily. Now I created a Chat GPT project for you. You need to create it on your own. You have to have your own. Basically, I did some AI research and had it put together. See if it's here. Okay, let's just did some basic had AI research your company, what your background is, market overview, competitor analysis. So it kind of gets an overview to AI of what your company is. Then you take that, and it's a lot more detailed than this. And you create a project. So when you talk to AI, it understands, like has a knowledge base about your company. And I said, what is the USP? And I've been asking it a few things. And here's the beauty of AI. So this may or may not be true. It's based on the information of another AI agent grabbed. Symptom belief, rehab treatment. So you can read through this. This is what I would highlight. Non-conveyor belt care. Look, cash pay, transparent pricing, no insurance friction. So I think in America, it would be good to say up top, no red tape, and we could word that. So I could say, okay, AI, okay, I need a blur. I call it a blurb for the why us section highlighting the USP. And it'll actually write it for you. And this is what goes on the website. We choose exactly what you need. Fast hands-on symptom relief when you're hurting a structure, nervous recession. Okay, I like this one. This is just a good example, but I like this, but want to highlight no red tape due to insurance delays. And I know I'm making typos, but I don't feel like going back. So you can just feed it back in and say, I like that, but let's add this. I don't know how much AI you use, is why I'm showing you. So this might be okay. Now I would expand it a little bit, but you kind of get the idea. This is kind of how you build it out. And the more you type, the more it learns. And then I could say, okay, now I need this USP as an H1 blurb. So it knows when I say blurb what I'm talking about. So again, this is the H1 here, and this is the H1 blurb here. Let's see what it says. Let me pin this so we don't lose it. Give me 2 sentences. So I'm going through this with you so you can see how to do it, right? I just don't want to give it to you. I want to show you kind of how to do it. So if it gives you something like this, but you want it to be longer, you ask it. Physiotherapy without insurance delays or red tape. Get fast pain relief when you need it, or structure rehab that fixes your. I think that's pretty good. No insurance approvals. That's good. No waiting. That's good because I know, like I said, from what I understand, being a stupid American, that there's a lot of delays up there, and I think that's actually true. So that you got to get the idea. So where were we? Um, so this is what I'm saying here. This is the things that I would highlight right there above the fold. And also another thing you'll hear me say, this is the hero section, this top section. So this is like the hero image, the hero F1. Those are other terms you're going to hear me say as we go along. I would not just focus I would create packages because these are the things people identify with, like seasonal packages, like the London Marathon physio package or the soccer. I'm just going to say soccer. I know it's football, but the soccer play. These are horrible wordings. You would use AI. Me or you, whoever, would use AI to word this better. The start of the season soccer player package, whatever those things are, right? And those are things you want to like your brand to be associated with. Okay, here's a couple ideas that AI came up with. The I know that's the area. Desk audit, a service where you review a client's home office setup via Zoom and prescribe setup plus 3 corrective exercises. Low effort, very low effort on your part, doesn't require a lot of resource, and it's a high lead magnet. Partner with local run clubs. You partner with that soccer team. I know I'm saying soccer, and I'm gonna quit clarifying. I'm saying soccer. You know what I mean? It's just that's we're American. So you could reach out to build in this. I have a list of partnership opportunities as we go lower. You just you're really going to need to every month dedicate five, whatever you can do, 5 to 10 hours donating time if you want to build these relationships with these clubs or organizations. Um, so offer a free warm-up clinic to any of these run clubs, right? And the idea is it's a backlink. So if another website mentions you on their website, that's increasing your brand, your digital footprint, right? Ideally, there's a link back to you, but even if your brand is mentioned, so you can imagine, ideally you want to get these mentions from industries that are similar to you or location or both. So the ideal mention for you or backlink opportunity would be from some type of health related company in your area because it's the same niche and it's local to you. But if it's a soccer team in your area, that's still good too because it's meeting that location criteria, right? Marketing specific gifts for stress, so symptom relief gift cards. So yeah, just gift cards, and you can market them in a certain way. And these are just all kinds of use AI to come up with ideas. So this is just a good example. What are some clever gift card ideas? It's amazing how much good it's making me become irrelevant, honestly. Fix my back gift card. So these are very, very targeted. And remember, if somebody has a bad back, Google knows about it, or they're specifically searching around for fix my back. Desk damage reset. And I'm sure everybody could use this, including myself. So these are just ideas. You're not going to have time to implement all these. I'm just throwing a lot of stuff I'm going to be throwing a lot of stuff at you. The first thing I would do would be to redo the website and build out the service pages I talk about, and all of this stuff could come later. So I'm just showing you how you can get really good ideas. Yeah. So what is USB highlight? This is what I just talked about. Knowing this took me hours and hours to do. So some things that these are just notes to myself that I took many hours ago, and I actually forgot that I did them. So if I'm like, sounds like I'm reading for this for the first time, it's because I like forgot where I put everything because it's long. See, so it's just a lot of stuff. Okay, so this is a possible USP. No insurance restrictions, no session limits, just the care you actually need. Cash-based physiotherapy means no waiting times, no referral hoops, and rush sessions. I think that would be great to see right at the top of the page. Here's another one. Joey Heck's Physiotherapy is a cash-based physiotherapy clinic in Battersea, offering clear, practical treatment without insurance restrictions. We separate short-term symptom relief from proper relief, so you can always know what you're getting and why. Okay, that's good. Okay, so nothing significant came up there. So topical authority. So what topical authority is, this isn't SEO from 4 years ago or even 2 years ago, where the idea was to create a lot of content that would drive traffic to your website. That's slowly changing because people are finding information, they're finding the answers they need in AI, and they're not clicking through to websites. However, building out a lot of content still plays a vital role because it establishes to the algorithms that you're an expert in you have the knowledge of whatever you're trying to sell, right? So this is one of my clients here. Oh, this is you here. Let's go to, you can see, let's go back, let's say 16 months. Started work with him in February, like right about here. You can see we slowly started building up, a content piece once every couple weeks, nothing big, using AI. It's not getting a lot of, it's not getting a lot of traffic, a ton of traffic from it at the beginning, but you can see it slowly builds, and you're building these topic clusters on all these core competencies and establishing to the algorithms that you are an expert in these fields. So if you are doing this right, this is what a healthy growth chart looks like. Anybody that says they're going to make it like a hockey stick growth, I don't know if I can do this. Let's see. Something like that. It's not realistic. It's going to come back down. Even something like this is pretty unrealistic. This is what you want, just steady, slow growth, right? And pay attention to this too. As things start growing, there's going to be months where things are going to decrease. Let's go to a 12-month view. So if here, I would have seen it going down here. This is back in August, and made a bunch of changes. I would have confused Google and even worse. I knew I was doing the right thing, and you can see 3 months later, things started picking up. So the point here is you don't want to react day to day, week to week, or even month to month to fluctuations. This is just how it works. It's like healing from an injury. If you're healing, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel bad. You're going to feel good. Overall, the trend's going to be up, but it's going to ebb and flow. So the point is, don't over. If you're doing the right things, you're not trying to scam the system. You're not buying a bunch of backlinks from crappy directories. You're not buying traffic. You're not manipulating click-through rates, all this kind of stuff. Stick to it, and it works the majority of the time. And if it doesn't, some things that should work don't work. That means you just got to switch tactics, and that's all part of it. So these are some topics. So I have a AI prompt I have that I actually want to go to this. I don't want to preview it. I want to go to it. Let me these are some now as much as possible when you're building content out, you want to localize it because if somebody searches for what are the causes of back pain, that's a broad topic that everybody in the world is searching for. Now, the more localized, the more niche you can make it, you know, the more likely you are to search for it. So, not just back pain, but back pain physiotherapist in London. When to see your physio versus GP. So, not just when to see your physio versus GP, but in London. So you can see these are more niche. Tech Neck in London, how physiotherapy helps. I'm not sure what that means, honestly. Like I said, this is AI stuff, but it's all really good. Posture myths for reality. See, this is more broad. I maybe wouldn't do this one. Home office ergonomics for London flat. So does it would home office ergonomics apply across the world and not specific to London? Yeah, it would. But by adding that London keyword, it's going to show it more and more to people around you. And you might even want to localize it more to your area. So like I say, this is a a better example of being niche. So you could have who actually needs a physiotherapist. You're not going to rank for that because it's all over the world. It's too broad. So the more niche one is who actually needs a physiotherapist in London. That's more niche. Still going to be super hard to rank though. But who needs a sports physiologist in London? That's a lot easier to rank for. What would be even easier is who needs a sports physiotherapist in Boreasy, whatever that town you live in is called, right? So you can go through here. There's all kinds of like good content ideas. Um, content that ranks really well. AI loves lists like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This like top 10 list, top whatever. So here's some ideas. Top X content. Top 5 causes of back pain in Battersea office workers. I'm probably saying that horribly wrong. Sorry about that. But that makes sense. Does it matter? Is the pain for people in Battersea specific to Battersea and not like Montreal or Paris? Probably not, but you're getting that keyword in there. And you want to show up for people around you, clearly, right? Um, I would even add maybe Battersea to here too. And then use AI to write this content out. You don't have to spend time writing all this out. It's going to help you build it out. But you always need to add data to it, your local expertise to it, right? So it's not just generic AI slop. A/B content is really good. So this versus that. Like you versus your competition is always really good. Sports massage versus physiotherapy. What's the difference? Manual therapy versus exercise. What actually works? Pain relief. Some like pain relief versus rehab. What every Londoner should know. You know, shockwave therapy versus traditional therapy. What every Londoner needs to know before investing or whatever. I have to think all that out. You get the idea though. Insurance information. The way you need to think about your site is you want to become an information hub for your topic. For whatever you're selling, you need to have all the information possible on it. So you're the go-to place for that information. Is it possible to be that for a small business if you're the only one working there and you don't have any outside help or any like IT staff or SEO or digital marketing? No, but I'm saying that should be the ultimate goal, right? Myths. So why batter? So this is localized. Why Battersea office workers get more neck pain? That may not even be a thing. It's just AI came up with it. If it's true, you want to explain it. Common running injuries is run. See, you don't want to just do your area. You also want to do the surrounding areas you're trying to get clients in. So I'm assuming Clapham Common, that's probably like the little common area, right? And Battersea is like the bigger, larger town, I would say. So make sure you do these as well. I think this is the zip code. I wouldn't necessarily use that. And all these can be turned into video assets too. YouTube videos, TikTok, all this kind of stuff. So that's that. So that's there for you. 30 minutes in and we haven't really moved. Okay, so these are more link bait ideas. I'm going to merge these probably into the, did it again. Oops, why is that not? Hold on a second. So these are more like you could get people to sign up for our, to get this free asset, sign up for my free, sign up to our mailing list. It's to get people on a mailing list essentially. The Battersea Desk Ergonomics Checker, whatever, it sounds like extreme. Top 10 fittest gyms. That's actually a pretty good one, I think. The best kind of content you can produce is content that provides data, provides original research. So if you could research around and get data, provide something new and useful, not just AI slop that everybody could do. Um, 5, free 5-day back pain fix. I think that's pretty good. Why are so many people hoarding this stuff? So you get the idea. So here's some interesting growth strategies. Rename symptom relief to sports massage and manual therapy. It looks like people are using that keyword more, so that's the way to focus on. I'd have to research that more. I need to talk to, I wasn't clear about that, so I would need to talk to you about that. Launch a pain-free blueprint lead magnet campaign. I think that's good. Partner with local, that we're going to talk about this later. We talked about this. Gift cards for manual therapy. Yeah, for Valentine's Father. I think those are all good. Have pages for, you know, Valentine's Day, Christmas, Father's Day, all those things. Review, I don't like review automation, so GMB, so prehab packages for ski and that's another good idea. Ski and marathon season. I know marathon's a thing, London Marathon. And I guess ski thing is a big thing there. I didn't know that. Um, Shockwave therapy. Something I kept seeing this over and over again. Apparently, shockwave therapy is a big thing. Apparently, it's quite an investment. I think a minimum of $5,000, but it's something that seems to be pretty profitable. If you can charge what 100, I'm just going to say dollars. I know this is euros, but $100 per session, you can make that up probably in the next first couple of years. So that's something I would consider. Content strategy. So just look through there, you get some good ideas. Okay, this is Google Business Profile stuff. I think you're the only person that works there. If so, that's fine. You don't need your own profile for you. But like lawyer offices, if there's multiple lawyers at one clinic, in many cases, not all, you want to have a different GBP profile for each lawyer there. So I think we're good here. Spammy competitor listing. So what this means, let me close a lot of this. Oop, I should have kept that one open. I would like to look at your competition, and we would need to go through this. A ranking factor still, ironically, is the business name of the GBP entry. So some of these, there was more a second ago. We can see here, DJ and Physios London. I bet they're just called DJ and Physios, and they're putting London in there for ranking purposes. They actually don't have a website, which is surprising. But you can see they got a lot more reviews than you. 317, 200, 520, 163, 350, 114, and we're getting 650. So I think you're seeing a pattern here. So anytime right here, the Physio Box Clinic Kensington. Let's see here. Physio Box, right? So I would report them because they're getting that extra ranking boost by having that location. The keywords we focus on are the service keyword and the location. It's always those two. So they're getting an extra boost by providing their location and their business name. Just forgot. Let me see. Hold on. Joe, I forgot the name there for a second. Let's go to yours. So you could say Joey Hex Physiotherapy London and get extra boost for that, but you could get suspended as well. That's why I wouldn't risk it. But yeah, so basically what this means is we need to go through. Also, if any people are using addresses that aren't real, you get that local rank boost by having a physical office. Like some of these people, you can't use a home. So you'd go through these one by one, and look at One Body LDN. Look at this address and see, is this a real business? Or is it like a a shared office space or something? All that stuff would need to be reported. There's no reason they should be benefiting from spam, right? No errors, that's good. Categories. So for your GBP categories, um, so for services, you don't have any services mentioned. So I would need, I want to say I mean, if we work together, but you would need a very specific list of services. Let's just say this is going to be oversimplified, back massage and chiropractor service. I know that's not what you do at all, but you would need to specifically mention those services in GPP and then recreate those on the website as we discussed earlier. But I would have packages, the hybrid athlete tune-up package, the batter seat desk, we went over that a little bit earlier, and I think I showed you the competitor categories earlier, like physical therapist, osteopath. Are you any of these? Right? So we would need to find out, and you can do this too. All you need to do is install this GMB everywhere, and you'll see without this, you won't be able to see the categories your competition's using, but you can just go through here and see what's being used, right? It's another blurb. It's like no insurance restrictions. I think that's good. Longer one-to-one appointments. I think that would be something to highlight if that's true. Focused on real results, whether you need sports, manual. I guess manual is an actual industry term. I didn't know that. Fast treatments. So this is the stuff. This is how we'd word it all. Oh, what this is, I'm sorry. I'm still in the GBP section. If you go to yours, your GBP profile description isn't good. It's not necessarily a ranking factor, but people read this stuff. So I would get rid of this and replace it with what's in that spreadsheet. Or you could use AI to rewrite it however you want to, right? But even if it's not, and it's, I don't even know if niggling's a word, honestly. It may be like a British thing. Even if the business description is not a ranking factor, which I think it is, even though some people would disagree, it gives context at a minimum to the algorithms to what you do, right? By getting those keywords in there. It may not make you rank higher, but it gives them more context about what you do so you can rank for those other things. And it helps people understand what you do. Okay, and your address, it says unit. Let me just show you real quick. Unit/Office 83, whatever you need to pick one and stick with it. Because as you start building out your business on other directories like the Chamber of Commerce and, I think it's called Yale in the United Kingdom. We have Yelp. I think you have Yale. That all needs to be 100% consistent. So you need to change it here to whatever you're going to do, Unis, office, number, and then make sure as you build it out on other websites to increase your digital footprint that it's 100% consistent. Because think about it. If the algorithms are determining to rank something, one of the things it's going to think about is, am I giving an accurate result? If this says unit office 83, then another listing on the web doesn't have it at all, and another one says number 83, like it's common sense to me and you that number and unit office are the same thing. But and from an algorithm's point of view, it's not 100% sure. It's probably 90% sure. But there's going to be some, I'm guessing, that you probably don't have unit office at all listed just because you made a typo or something. So the point is, simplify it. Whatever it's here, it needs to be consistent totally across the web, everywhere. I made another note. What did I say here? Oh, and then can you put signage up? And also post pics because it's kind of hard. I went to Google Maps and it looks like your office is kind of back off the road behind the main buildings up front. Do they allow you to put signage up there? I know there's a lot of crazy regulations compared to where I live in Louisiana in England, so maybe may not be able to. But at a minimum, you get signage up inside and post that stuff to Google Business Profile photos. You are in the location you're trying to rank for. So service areas. So and I don't know this because I don't know the area, obviously. Just make sure these are the areas you're trying to service here. Um, I would probably for you, I'd have to look. I would just find areas that are within 5 to 10 miles and focus on those of your location. And you can use AI to figure it. Well, you know it, but I'd use AI to figure it out. And this says 2 hours. This is for like more rural companies. You're not that. So let's say I'll say 5 to 10 miles. Your hours. So your hours are a big problem here. It's going to be very restricting because you have your hours listed as 7 to 9 p.m. and but Saturday 9 to 8. So you probably meant to do 7 to a.m. to 9 p.m. So this influences if your business is being shown in search results. So you can imagine if somebody searches for physical therapist near me, Google's going to, and this is just one signal of hundreds. One of the things it's going to look at is it wants to show businesses that are open. So if you're closed and I'm searching at 10:45 a.m., I'm probably not going to show up. At least I'm going to, at a minimum, decrease the chances of showing up. So that needs to be fixed. And then whatever you have listed in GBP needs to be also listed on your website, generally in the footer, and they need to be 100% consistent. So that's probably hurting you right now. Products. So you don't sell any products, but it's something you could sell. Resistance bands, massage balls, mobility aids. So let's just ask AI. Let's say some unique products they could sell, like as add-ons. I'm not saying you're probably not going to become an e-commerce shop, but you could list them and you could sell them online, but it's something you could offer at your clinic as people are doing business with you. You may already do that. A paid pain decision guide. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Desk damage control kit. Okay, that's okay. Fix it yourself library, runner prehab blueprint, premium. Okay, these are selling more. I can say like I mean physical products. Let me stop it and I'll do that. So you may not want to do this. I'm just saying these are other possible revenue opportunities. The fix it now relief kit. Okay, it's kind of going through the same thing. So it's a kit that comes with a band, a trigger ball. Yeah, so there's probably exercises you have that require a medicine ball and a band and something else, a magnet or something. And if they can do those on their own, don't sell those individually. Brand those as something, the desk damage control pack, and you can sell those on your website, which wouldn't be difficult, but also as people come into the clinic, right? And then offer a little discount. And even if you broke even on that, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. You kind of are looked at as an all-in-one shop for things related to physical rehabilitation. And you think about it, like if you're recommending people need to do exercise A, which requires a wristband, you might as well sell it to them. If you bought them off, I wouldn't say Temu. It's probably not. You'd have to test it out. Well, for example, so my company, the whole goal, what I realized is many years ago, people hired one company for local SEO, one for web design, one for web hosting, one for lead generation, one for ads, one for performance. And anytime there was a problem, they would all point the finger at each other. Okay. So what I said is my goal, I strive to be an all-in-one provider for companies that want all of that from one provider. Right. So that's my goal. So I'm kind of doing what I'm telling you to do. And I'm sure there's wholesale shops you could buy resistance band. You probably even know that. I don't know. You have an appointment link. So attributes. So you don't have any of the attributes filled out. So let's go back here. Basically, this means just fill out your profile. And I can help you with this. I don't mind doing it either. Of course, it takes a little bit of time. We'd have to work together. But all this stuff down here, are there any special hours? Are you woman owned? I would say no, probably. Accessibility, just answer all these questions. Because it makes sense. I don't have any data to back this up. Like, has restrooms? So do you have a gender neutral restroom? I can imagine you'd rank higher for that. Um, Planning, appointment required, etc. Make sure this payment stuff is right. Oh, it looks like it's current, and Google actually updated them. So you need to look into that. Service options, sign language, what languages do you speak? So all this stuff. So it just makes sense that Google wants to show results that have complete profiles. It's not going to, again, it's showing that you are on top of your business and the information is accurate, because if you spent time to do it, it's probably accurate. So all these things add up. The opening date, that wasn't filled out. Call tracking, I wouldn't worry about call tracking. It's there if you want to set it up. You're not doing any Google posts. Um, Good thing to post in Google Posts is, so you can see, every time I get a review in Google, I post just a screenshot of it. See? And then I post like my prompts. I rotate this so it posts every 6 weeks or something. There's another one, right? Here's a review, etc. So you just want to stay active. Now I use a tool called Social Monio. So I post it. I guess I'll just show you, and I can show you where to get this. So you pay a one-time fee. You don't actually pay a monthly fee. Whatever I post here goes to Facebook, LinkedIn, X, Google Business Profile. I think it costs you like $60 or something. And a part of winning this entire small business game is finding tools, but finding them to where you don't have to pay monthly recurring fees, because that all eats up budget, that all eats up, revenue, right? So I've amassed quite a library of tools I bought for as lifetime deals, like off AppSumo. So you can do it, then you can say schedule for whenever, and you can repeat it, right? So you post it one place, it goes to all my, like I said, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google Business Profile. All these social signals are good. This shows the algorithms. It's increasing your digital footprint. It shows people who are investigating, looking into your business, that you're active. So watch this. So if I type in Norzer, you're going to see I'm on Facebook. I got my app. YouTube's not as active as it should be, but I posted a video about a month ago. I'm going to do another one. So I try to do like one a month. X, right? So I have a pretty good, this is a profile of a community group I belong to. I'm on featured.com. So so the algorithms are saying, okay, look, I had a press release. I launched this managed web WordPress hosting about a year ago. I have some chat GPT bots that I've created. Um, I created a security guide here. Of course, I didn't say it was me that did it. So this is a really good, I think. I think it's probably the most detailed WordPress security guide on the internet, honestly. Spent a lot of time with the help of AI and went through this and created a really good detailed guide. This isn't AI slop. I used AI, but I spent a lot of time and added my own personal insights to it. Right. So really have a pretty, and there's no way I'm going to rank for SEO services like in America. It's not possible. But if I was a local plumber, but this is exactly what I would do. Like if you look at my H1, it doesn't even follow the advice I'm giving you. It's because I'm not trying to rank locally. I'm not. I'm just. My website is more like a brochure. I'm not trying to rank for local SEO services in Louisiana. So ignore. I'm not. I work nationwide, right? And there's no way I could rank nationwide, so I'm not wasting my time on it. If anybody happens to find my website, it's like a decent little brochure, right? It's got a little fancy animation. It's got little animations down here. Okay. 48 minutes in. Okay, we'll just kind of speed things up. So big thing you're not doing is reviews. Anytime you get a review, let's go back to Joey Hex Physiotherapy. You need to respond. You need to actively ask for reviews. I have a whole process for this. If you want it, let me know. I can share it with you. Anytime you get a review, if you're saying 10 clients a week, you probably can get 1 to 2 of those to leave a review. A realistic, non-stressful goal would be to get maybe 1 review a week, 1 review every 2 weeks. It's more important to get them at a normal pace than to get them like 3 a day or anything like that. So basically just send them a follow-up email or a text message with a personalized message so it's not automated. Hey, enjoyed the session. Say something personal so it doesn't look automated. There's a template you can use that I can give you, and you enter one personalized line. The rest of it's automated, but one personalized line, so it looks like it's all personalized. Is really enjoyed the conversation we had about the English soccer team. I know that's such a stereotypical thing to say, but so it look because they can identify with it. Would you mind leaving us a review? It really helps my small business grow, etc. So you can see here you got a review. You got one 2 days ago, but you need to respond to it. Respond. Even these ones you haven't responded to, you need to go back and respond to them. If you get a negative one, you need to respond to it. You're trying to do a couple here. This is good. But this is something, and you ideally need to respond within 28, at a minimum, maximum 48 hours. So just set a daily calendar reminder. Check reviews, and respond to them. But you also need to get reviews on other platforms, right? So once you're on, I think it's, let me just, instead of assuming, I think it's called Yell. It wouldn't be yell. Okay, I think this is common over there. I don't know. But whatever those local directories are, which we'll get to below, you need to get reviews on those too. Most of your focus should be on GBP, but these AI algorithms, the way they work, if I search for, how does it determine it? I have tools where I can see what it's doing. It's literally going out and searching the web for this. So if I search this, it might be a little bit different than what I'm going to show you, for example. I'm not going to break down what I'm seeing. You can imagine here, where is it looking? It's looking in Reddit. So, okay, so we need to get in Reddit. Okay, these are actually studios themselves. But what you'll find is there's actually directories. Best lawyer near me. So Justia. So if you're a lawyer, you need to be in Justia. You need to be in Yelp. You need to be in Superlawyer. So you get the idea, right? That's the kind of stuff that's how the AIs help determine. It's a little different for Google search, standard Google search. You don't have messages set up. That's fine. No big deal. Post photos, need to do inside your business, not stock. Videos may not apply to you. Um, you do have social media, Instagram, but it's not on your website. I would just post anytime you post to Instagram, post to TikTok, and it's just something you need to schedule. It's just part of your new business process. Once every 2 weeks, record a quick video going over a process or a customer review or whatever that is. Ask AI, what are some video things I could post to Instagram? It doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be super edited, but just a quick video with your phone and then quickly post to your channels. Answer the questions on your GBP, do the know this place questions, and I don't think you're doing local ads, so that's something you could look into. Okay, Screaming Frog. So let's see if I can remember all this. So this is just a site spider. You can see your URLs don't have good keywords in them. So services, it should be domain slash London physiotherapy services or whatever those keywords are, right? So, and then you need to have a dedicated page for each one of those, and those URLs need to be good. But also the page titles aren't good. The meta descriptions aren't good. The meta are those little blurbs that show up in the Google search results. Some of them don't have anything, so Google's going to figure out on its own. But you want to tell Google what to put there, even though sometimes it chooses something else. Um, you have a strange going to a services store. Looks like maybe you were going to create a store at one point and it's a broken link. So that page just needs to be deleted if nothing's going to be there. And also, you have a cart link here, which doesn't exist. So that needs to be just removed if you're not going to do anything with it, obviously. What is it? I just noticed this. Let's see. This might actually just be yeah, so there's a home. So this is the old home page. That needs to be deleted. So I can share all this data with you if you want it. I'll just send it to you in a spreadsheet. Just let me know. Um, and then the images. So images, you want them to be optimized with good alt text, meaning descriptor text that helps SEO. But also the average, you should have all images under 100K and all yours are above 100K. An average website on the web is 3 meg. Okay. And all of them will load pretty quickly on a laptop over Wi-Fi, but you can imagine on a slow phone, on a slow connection, anything over 3 meg is really going to be slow, and people are going to click the back button. If people click the back button, go into your website, that's a signal to Google that your website didn't meet the searcher's intent or didn't satisfy what they were looking for, right? So I have a video, I think I put it in the spreadsheet here, how to optimize images, how I do it. So you can see you have some images that are alone 8.7 meg. You can see this right here. There's no reason it needs to be this big. I could probably get this down to, let's actually do it real quick. I'll show you too. I'm not going to just explain step by step. Right now it's 8 meg. Okay. First thing, you don't need it to be that big, so resize it. Probably need it to be, probably 1200 is good, but that's even bigger than you probably need it. Then file, save as. and you need to name it better. Like you need your keywords in here. Well, this is actually not bad. Shoulder, power, physical therapy, but whatever. What is that? I would always include the keyword, the location, London, or whatever that your town name is. And we'll just call this 111 wet P. Then you need to compress it a little bit. So you can see at 53%, and it's going to look the same, the quality. So if you zoom in, let's say zoom in on her nose, look here and here, it's right about the same. If you want to make it a little, I don't even think you need to do it. Usually I can get most things down to about 30%. I think it looks pretty good, whatever. Even if we did it at 63%, you're still looking at 50K, down from 8 megs to 50K, right? So that's that. And then you re-upload it. It's a whole other like topic that I could go on for a long time. Because it's slowing website speed down, etc. Um, so whatever the H1, so you're not using any H1s at all. That kind of like I said, that details. It's another one of my clients here. What the It's going to be slow because I'm logged in. If you're logged into your website, the website is going to be a lot slower. So the H1, we're now actually working on this today. We're changing it from they're a dentist, but we're really going to focus on cosmetic dentistry because it's more niche. So you can see cosmetic dentistry in Koreatown, Los Angeles. They used to say dentist in Los Angeles. We're now going to focus on cosmetic dentistry in Koreatown, Los Angeles. So you can see, and then this would be an H2, right? So get all that stuff figured out. So that's that. Okay, don't worry about, you don't have, this is define internal linking opportunities. You don't have any link, you don't have any service pages to build links from, so no big deal. And there's no content to really rank. Okay, so don't worry about these. These scans basically are showing what I'm telling you now. Your brand isn't big enough to have that. Okay, we went over the best of content ideas. You don't have a video for each landing page, which I would have. So I did some observations of local competition. What made a big difference was they were a lot more modern, the websites. They had dedicated service pages, and they were SEO optimized. And I can't spell some of them. Not most of them aren't actually, but some were. And then, so this is an example of one. When I'm trying to do research on how to do something, I will look at top ranking results in high traffic locations in America, specifically New York, Chicago, in Los Angeles. Because to really rank any business in those huge markets, you have to do, in most cases, a lot of work on them. So you can see they have dedicated service pages. So you can imagine how much time all this took. They have location pages, clear pricing, patient information. But look at this down here. I definitely don't like this banner taking up so much of the screen. Like I wouldn't have this top, this would disappear if it were me. But anyway, they have the services here. But what I like here, they have, look, for active adults. So these is what people are probably searching for. Physical therapist for active adult, physical players for baseball player. This is why they're doing it. And they have a basketball players page. And it's a horrible page, but it's for ranking purposes. Dancers, this is why they do it. This is 100% sure. I'm 100% confident this is why they did it. Okay, that's good. You have those broken links. Landing pages are indexed. Oh, this is actually a yes. That means you passed. You are indexing. No spam. I don't know why I put this as no. You're not shown as spammy. I don't know why I put these. You're not using multiple domains as far as I can find. There is another domain, .am. I comment on it later. I'm trying to figure out what it is. You don't match their blog post. You don't have any city neighborhood service pages. You're not Google guaranteed. I don't even know Google. It's a Google guarantee thing for service companies. That's more for like house builders and stuff. I don't think you could even do that. We'd need to research that. So your domain age, you've only been around for 5 months. So it's going to take you time to build up and compete. This is just another factor. You're new compared to companies that have been around for, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 years. Okay, so I talked about local backlinks, so links into your company. I ran my AI bot, and how to this is building out your digital footprint. You definitely want to the number one place to get in to establish trust would be the Chamber of Commerce. And these are some other ones that it came up with. I'm not familiar with any of these because I don't know your area at all. The Junction BAD, The Battersea Society, that's probably a business directory. Some type of Rotary Club. This talks about sponsorship, so sponsor local businesses. Dog and cat home events, right? If you have more time than money, you can work out doing free services for some of these organizations. Every Saturday, maybe every other Saturday, dedicate 2 hours to working with a soccer team or whatever it is. These are must-have authority links. So what is this? The Chartered Service Physio, you probably know about this. Are you in this directory? If not, we need to get in it. According to this is AI. I don't know if it's telling us the truth or not. It's something I would investigate. Healthcare and Practitioner Council, get in there. This. So go through each one of these. So hyperlocal news site, the clatham.nub.news. So looks like you can add a free business listing. Definitely do that. So you have, and creating all that blog posts and building out all these pages is good for your topical authority, like your expertise. This is helping you build out your geographical authority, your location authority. Okay. It tells you to pitch a local interesting story, workplace, pain trends, etc. Another newspaper. And here's just more stuff. And so here's some unconventional niche ideas. Local gyms. So go to local gyms, and how do you become a recommended professional? Like, could you go to a local gym there and say, look, I'm willing to come in every Saturday, once a month for 5 hours, or every Sunday, whatever, it doesn't matter, for 5 hours or 4 hours. I would do a lot less for 2 hours. Okay, let's just say every 2 hours, and teach a class for free. If so, would you mind mentioning me on your website? That's an amazing thing to do, because if you just ask for a backlink or a mention, you're not going to get it. But if you're giving them something of value in return, you're a lot more likely to get it. Just work out these partnerships. And you can ask AI, what's a strategy for building out this partnership? It's going to give you some ways to, get those communications open. Run clubs, church communities, co-working spaces, corporate wellness. Yeah, corporate partners, right? I didn't even think of that for this. So, and there's the advice. So this right here, this 2 years ago, a year ago, this would have taken me probably a week to do. I literally did it in 15 minutes with AI. So the point is, you can do it too. You just need the prompts. So backlink profile, nothing really going on Reddit. Your favoricon's good. Your 404 page good. This is all good. You're not doing any type. I do security as well, so this is why I brought this up. And there's a little. It's not called iThemes anymore. It's called. I actually use a different plugin, but there's a little tutorial on how to secure your website for free. Performance is okay, but it's slowing down on those pages that have those giant images on them. So it's something you want to look at, and you have to look at those one by one. It's mobile friendly. Your tags aren't indexed. What was this? Okay, yeah, so you don't have any blog posts. Don't worry about this for now. It's another prompt you can use. Your content's not being updated currently, because what we're finding out is AI really loves content that is recent. It's hard to stay on top of, but if you could set a calendar entry anytime you post something to go and make minor changes to it quarterly, even if you can't do it quarterly, every year is fine, right? An author box for expertise, authority, trust. So at the bottom of all your blog posts, it should say, so for example, another one of my clients, and it's probably going to be slow because I'm logged in. Go to their blog post. Might be quicker to do it incognito. Whoops. Okay, let's be quicker here. Unless the yeah, see, okay. So you can see I wrote this, but it's by him. It's got good links, it's got photos, so it's not totally AI slop. It's got some local mentions, and it's got a local FAQ, which is hopefully this helps it localize it a little more. You can see it's got an author box down here. So this is establishing authority, establishing him, Jason Mizak, as an expert on this topic. And we also give the algorithms a link to his LinkedIn profile. So it starts to make all these connections, and it's not going to go there, right? But that's that. Okay, let me see how much further we got. A lot of this will be real quick. Okay, social. You just need to be more, more consistent about it. And it doesn't have to be every day. Don't stress yourself out. But if you can post a video, even if it's once a month, just have some kind of schedule. Set a dedicated time on your calendar where say, this is part of my business. I'm now going to dedicate 4 hours the first Tuesday, the second and fourth Tuesday of every month, whatever, to make a video, or 2 hours, 1 hour, whatever it is. And anytime a video idea pops in your mind, write it down. Just make a note of it. And then when you have time, go back and do it. I have a list of 200 video ideas. It just pop in my mind like in the shower or whatever. No YouTube, you're an Insta, local scan, citations, Chamber of Commerce link above. Yeah, don't worry about this. This is US stuff. Okay, so you don't have, this is all going back to your website. You don't have your H1 configured, all that fun stuff. Yeah, this is all, so don't have your call to action above the fold. You don't have external links, all website stuff. For you, a big thing would be like if you have awards, certifications, memberships, all that stuff needs to be prominently highlighted on your website. But specifically certifications, like you obviously have some type of degree or certification that shows you're an expert. Again, this is good for not only the algorithm, but good for human beings to realize to show that you are, uh, trained in what you're saying you are. Case studies doesn't make a lot of sense with you. Testimonies, you have them, but they just look, they don't. It looks like a rookie website, right? Socials, you have social, but you don't list them on your website. And you could, like, I have this prompt here too. It'll go, you give it what your business is, and it'll give you 52 engaging Google Business Profile posts. Um, so 52 once a week. So basically, if for you, the stuff it's going to come up with for the most part is probably health related tips. Then you take 3 hours, 1 day a year, and schedule all those out for the year. And what I do with my clients, I don't do it every week, I do it every other week. I have a Santa Claus client, and we once we get closer to Christmas, we start doing it every few days. But it just keeps your social profile active. Now, as the year goes on, you're also going to be posting, reviews and offers and stuff like that. So it's going to be more than every couple weeks. But at a minimum, if you get busy for a month and don't post anything on social, at least you have something scheduled that's coming out, like office ergonomic tips, or this is the best product to buy, or whatever that is. And that's what this prompt is going to come up with. So you just paste this into AI, in ideally in your project. You need to have your phone number clickable. You don't have that. You need a contact page on your website, which I don't think you have. Let me remember. You have an email address. Wait, you do. Okay. Okay, you do have the form, but you need a link to contact. People just look for it down here in the footer, and algorithms associate well-designed web pages with a contact page in the footer. Address, areas we serve in the footer. We serve area A, area B, area C. You don't have an about page, or do you? And it's not good. I can't remember. Yeah, so people want to understand what makes you different. So we need to highlight that here on the home page as well, but it needs to be, you need to have a dedicated page. So if you, and you can go read through this on your own here when you get, if you want to, why Norzer. So it really, I think, does a good job at selling that we work with small businesses only. I'm a former computer hacker, like in the 80s and 90s. Like I grew up in that underground culture, so I have that priority. We're really, it's like I'm a boutique agency. We don't work with giant corporations. I understand small business pains because I'm a small business. You have a dedicated point of contact. Every client I have has a dedicated Discord server over here. So you're not getting somebody who doesn't understand your business, all that stuff. And then this goes into about me. It kind of goes into my personal history, right? And the guy I'm working with now, I will show you. I don't need to show it to you. He read through my profile and he found out, why did you contact us? The reason he said is because I was a former BBS sysop. If you don't know what that is, in the 70s and I'm sorry, more in the 80s and 90s, we used to run bulletin boards on before the internet where people would dial into them, connect into all kinds of stuff. He could relate to that. So I created something that other people could relate to. If I didn't mention that, he may have reached out to somebody else. So you need to create a lot of those entry points, mention a lot of things about your life. You're a Manchester United fan. That might turn half the country off, actually, severe. You're a dog lover, you're a cancer survivor, all these things that are going to help build these emotional bonds with people in your about information. give away something, always give away stuff free for a consultation. It may not make sense with you because you're not a lawyer. Your tags aren't, $10,000 per client. I have one client, used to have a client that gave away, like a real estate client that would give away a tablet just for talking to her. Something you might want to consider. Is crypto accepted? That could set you apart. You could accept crypto. You don't have legal pages. Using some stock images, you don't want to use stock images. You don't have, like, let's say, find us on Yelp. Well, you don't have that mentioned. Your hours aren't there. You don't have your map on your website. You don't have FAQs. You don't have schema configured. Schema helps search engines understand what the site's about. So in the code, you're explicitly saying you do have it, but it's not configured. That's what it is. Like, this is a service business. These are our hours. These are our prices, and it's in the code itself. Posting job opportunities is a good way to get traffic. That's kind of a cheat code. Some people are clicking on GBP. Another way to increase your brand is to write a book. I have a couple books. I have another in the works, but don't have time. You can do a Reddit AMA. Are you guaranteed? You need to add your prices. That's good. You don't have any spam. You could offer referral bonuses. There's not a lead generation website, which is good. I would set up a Google alert for your business name so you know if somebody's talking about you. These are both set up. You need to be in Bing Places, Yahoo Local, Apple Maps. If you're not, I don't think you are. You don't need a Wikipedia page. Don't worry about this. User Bob. See how people are using your website. This allows people, you can pay like $1 for a minute of somebody using your website to get feedback on what they think about it. It's interesting to hear. Record how people are using your website. Do you want live chat? If that's something, I would do that for type of business like you have. A lot of times people want to reach out and chat. They don't want to call and they don't want to wait for an email. You're not doing Google Ads. Having it get on Just Answered so you can answer questions is a good lead generation tool. Haro, you can help reporters build articles. Sign up for that. Sign up for a service like Podmatch or Podcast Guest. Get featured on podcasts. That really helps build out your digital footprint. Consider press releases and make sure you're tracking results. So any of these, we could talk on the phone on this topic right here for an hour, right? But the thing you can do is go to this, read about it. You have to sign up for, I think they have a service, I think they have one that's like $40 a month or something, and you'll have opportunities to get on podcasts. And you can imagine the algorithms see you on a podcast that's really going to help build up your authority. And make sure you're tracking results, because if you're not tracking results, you don't know if what you're doing is working or not. So hoping to go an hour, but there was a lot to cover. Went on an hour and 12 minutes. So it's the length of a good short film. I hope you found it useful. If not, or if you expected something to be covered that wasn't covered, just reach out to me before leaving any type of negative review. That's all I ask, and let me cover it. But I hope you are happy with it. And again, even if you have I expect follow-up questions. That's totally fine. I'm not going to bill you for them. If you want to get in a quick call, I'm not going to bill you for an hour's worth of work. That's fine. I don't mind helping out. Just let me know. So I hope you found it useful. A review, I'm grateful if you could leave a review if you found it super helpful. Like I said, if you didn't find it helpful, then please let me solve whatever is, let me fix whatever that is. But a review really helps me tremendously. And yeah, I hope this all helps. There's a lot of actionable stuff. Any of the data you need that I've shown from Screaming Frog, or if you need that, let me know. I can show you how to do it, or I can give you the data itself. So I hope this helps, and have a good one.